to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about entity. There are some characters in HTML that are reserved, and for us to achieve it, we need to use some special notations. So, for instance, let's say we want to have copyright on our web page. Let's do something like this: copyright EpeeTechSolution. Now, let's save and refresh our page. All right, this copyright EpeeTechSolution. But what we want to achieve with this copyright is a symbol, right? I'm sure you have come across it on some websites at the footer section. Come across them, like that's how they look. So it's copyright. For us to achieve this copyright, it's something we call entity, and they are reserved. For us to achieve it, we need to use a symbol called and, and also a semicolon. So this and starts the entity, and this semicolon ends the entity. In between, you're going to pass the element inside it. You're going to pass the entity inside it. So let's put copy. Yes. Now we get the copyright EpeeTechSolution. If, for instance, you want to have this kind of symbol, this gives us a tag which is known as element. But what we want to achieve is not a tag. We just want to do something like this. Entity is not used for italic, and we want to mention the entity in this format. If we save it and refresh right now, see what we get. This entity is not used for italic. But what is the entity? It's not coming out because it's an element. An element is not meant to show. So for us to achieve this, we need to remove this and this. Once we remove this, it's going to give us EN as normal text. And this is not what we want to achieve, because users will not understand EM as a text. You are referring to an element. So for us to achieve that, we need to use the entity. So at here, we're going to have the less than, and at the end of it, we're going to have the greater than. Now that we have it here, you can see this entity is not used for italic here. So this tells this is an entity, this is a tag, and it's not used for italic. Now you don't need to memorize all these entities. You don't need to memorize them. Let's go to the website where we can find more of them. Free for matter. Yeah. Now here I'm going to look for HTML entities. So here we have the entity number, we have the entity name for the characters. So you can decide to use any characters with the entity name or entity number. Now this doesn't have, some of these doesn't come up with their names, but they have their numbers. If you want to use space, you can use this entity. You want to use exclamation mark without you using the character itself. You can use the number. This gives you exclamation mark. So let's say you want to have a sentence. Yeah. So you can easily copy this, and let's say you want to have a sentence between here and here. Alright. Here we have it. Yeah, you can see this is a copy that I used earlier. You can take your time and check them out. So let's try and use the entity number as well. Since we've used name, let's use entity number. Let's use this for all. So let's remove this. This entity is not used for italic for no reason at all. Should you use it for italic? All right, so let's have a small letter here. So this element is not used for italic. Yeah, which is this element. For no reason at all do you use it for italic. So let's see that. You can see the symbol. Yeah. So these are characters that are reserved in HTML. For you to use them, you need to use the entity. So that's all about entity name and entity number. Kindly like and subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Peace out.